Season's Greeting Night, or Moodlight, I think that's what it was called. Yeah, I was reading the front, but it's 2024. Good night, good night, good night. Zerobaseone, season greetings, Moodlight. I wanted to put it up already, but I'm like, let me make a video, because I feel like this goes so much with the channel. Like, good night, hello, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night. You need to go to sleep. You need to go to sleep. Go to sleep. Good night. Good night. So yeah, I don't know if it was part of their like seasons, like the actual season's greeting box thingy, or what. But yeah, like season's greeting, this is part of Zerobaseone season's greeting, but it's like separate, you know. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay. Item is Zerobaseone 2024 season's greeting. Good night. Moodlight. It's spec glass ball 60mm, standard 60mm, 20mm. There's a photo card set. Material is glass, wood, and paper. And then the manufacturer is made in Korea. So yeah. Okay, so this is what the front outer box looks like, and then this is the back. The sides are nothing, but on the top it's this. It says, I think just the same thing, yeah. 2024 good night, Zerobaseone season's greeting. And then on the other side of that though, it says I wish you good night. 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 Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. I'm about to go to sleep. Maybe not, but in reality, no. But I need to go to sleep again. You need to go to sleep. You need to go to sleep. You need to go to sleep. I need to go to sleep. We need to go to sleep. Everybody needs to go to sleep. You don't sleep, you die. So let's open this up. Oh, wait. I want to read this because all the members' names down here. We have Sung Bin, Kim Jae Wong, Shang Hao, Sok Matthew, Kim Dae-rae, Ricky, when I got you, Ricky, Kim Kyuvin, Park Gong, and Eugene. That's all 9 of them. And yeah, it was in age order after the leader, of course. that's cool. And it has like a little bed. Just good night. Let me do it like this. I'm like scared to break it. But yeah, this is like the main thingy. And then let's take out the stand. This is like the little thingy it was in. This is the wood material. So on this side it says Zerobaseone. Oh no, Pikachu. Zerobaseone. And then on the other side it says zeros. Zero. Boop. And then this is like, I guess, what's the source of light? It's the source of light. I'm gonna put the glass on top like this. It's so tiny, guys. It's literally not even the size of my palm, and you see, or it is. I don't know. It's so tiny, and for the price I paid, this little thing, yeah. These are the photo cards. On the package it says like good night, season greetings. I didn't want it for the photo cards. I wanted the actual light thingy because I feel like it's just so cute. But let's look at these photo cards. Oh my gosh, that was not satisfying. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. Sorry if that's hurting your ears. We got one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One of each member. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9. Go to sleep. Good night. Good night. Good. Eugen says good night. I say good night. Good night. Gombook says good night. I say good night. Everyone's gonna be wishing you good night and good sleep and good rest, okay? Cuban. I think that's Cuban. I'm so sorry. Cuban says good night. I say good night. Good night. Ricky. gosh, I would so wait. This is USB. I thought this was. I thought this was like a plug, guys. Like you had to plug it in the wall. This is USB, the fat USB. Let me show you. I don't know. I don't know. That actually works because my light thing has a USB thing, so I could show you what the light thing looks like, because I wasn't going to, but now that I see it's USB and that I have it here. There we go. Oh my gosh, let's see how this is. Let's look at this. I know you guys can see the reflection up there. Why is there a reflection? Oh, it looks like it needs to be clean out by my dirty hands. But this is so cute, guys. The camera is not doing it justice. Oh, there, that's somewhat better. But it's so cute, and it's actually pretty bright. I didn't think it was this bright. But now, guys,